Come on. Oh, live. Advert. It is muted, so we're good. If it's for... Oh, look, very expensive laptops. From HP, so not an expensive brand. Anyway, welcome back, everybody. Or welcome to the stream if it's your first stream. And as per usual, we're in not TFC, where we are just kind of murgling around really now. I'm at the stage where I think we've got pretty much most of what we... Oh, hello, those will be. Most of what we're going to be doing done. And I just really want to finish off this space in here, because there's probably space over here for a structure as well, although whether we'd want one that close to the castle, I don't know. Maybe some trees. Maybe a tree. Maybe that's what we need. And I've got a few plans. I've got three hovels to lay areas that I want to lay out, and then there's possibly a little bit of space around here for something as well. Although I'm not entirely sure what. And as per usual, because of course we're streaming, it's night time before we even start. So let us get that down and get that out of the way. Anyway, so I hope everybody's had, well, I'm trying to think how long it is since I last streamed. A good few weeks. Since I last streamed, and I know I've had busy weeks. Trying to think what I've done since the last stream I did. I went down to London for my one of our best friend's daughter's 21st birthday. I was going to say 21st wedding. That would be wrong, wouldn't it? I had my lad up for a week. So yeah, that's been fun. Let's get some. We've got some materials to be on with. Let's just be building while we're talking. Let's get a little hovel going back here, shall we? And obviously work. It's always work. You can never get away from work. It's one of those things that it just is always there. Sat there making you miserable, saying, "Nah, wake up! It's time for work." And well, welcome, and as you are all welcome. Ooh, what the hell's that? Oh, it's glass. I mean, this is literally going to be a tiny little hovel for somebody. I'm just not even sure what I want to do here. I'm kind of looking at it, kind of going. So yeah, it's wife's birthday this weekend, so we've been through that. Or as I prefer to call her, the coffee fairy. And yeah, really just moving on, getting worked. I've done a bit more work updating the mod pack for Sid's Modded Life. Got to work updating the mage server. That's a biggie. Right, what have we got in the way of plank? Ironwood. Ooh, ironwood plank. We could take some. Let's have a look. Let's take some ironwood. And then what have we got? Is there such a thing as thatch? I can never remember whether I have thatch in this or whatever. Do we have thatch? We have impossibly hard wheat sticks, which you can soften up. Okay, well, I know what we have. We've got those bundle of sticks, which becomes the fascine, doesn't it? That's possible. I could use that. I'm just conscious that every single roof in this place is what's the word I'm looking for? I have no idea. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'll take a little bit of glass out with us. That will do as well. And yeah, let's get out there. And we're going to be a little bit simpler, I think, here. These big builds are, well, medium-sized builds, I suppose, are all well and good. But you know, with the chisels and bits and everything, it gets very, very slow very quickly. And we need to get some closure on this place. because we need to move on. I've got other plans, I've got things I want to do. So yeah, that's the wrong chisel. Chisel me this. What we could go with, yeah, or we could go with, I think the oak might be better actually. Let's go with some, we kind of go with those. And then we'll have a little window, actually just one window. He's a peasant, he can't afford windows. We'll get a little bit of this doing. One of the things I often hate about doing when I'm planning things is when I've not got any solid ideas for what I'm going to do in a stream. So if there's anybody's got any specific things they would like to see happen, or any bits or suggestions. Oops, no, I didn't want to do that. Damn you. Oh, gimme. And you can be that again. There we go. Then yeah, do let us know. Right, Facine. I need some Facine. I think I've got several blocks of Facine over this way. So yeah, but finishing off the castle, getting the settlement done, that's kind of my goal, to finish on this season before we move on to another kind of thing. I'm contemplating doing a different game actually than Minecraft for a while. I had immense fun doing Stardew Valley as the vacation series, and whilst obviously my game and the game I play predominantly Minecraft, it occurs to me that we could, let me just take a stack of those. Wow, how are you doing? Oh yeah, you're just feeding straight back into here, aren't you now? You should be okay, what's going on here? Main storage, blah blah blah. Oh damn, I've just kind of buggered that up. Yeah, it was the thing. Well, now there's a new game out which I watched Rorax play, the original, which is in the same vein, which is the Graveyard Keeper, which looks to me, sorry, I just want to check that I am not barking completely up the wrong tree here. Looks to me to be quite an interesting variation on the theme. If I do that, that will give me that. I can drop you. You can go back in there, and you can go in there. So why is that not draining into there? And that, for that matter. Sides. Hang on, maybe we need to do something with that. So if I want if I put that into the main storage, so it's the bottom inventory. Sides, bottom inventory are, oh, hang on. Let's just set that there. And if I go, right, we are facing, where am I? East. Let's set the east to bottom inventory. That's more like it. And then we need to do, this one will be setting the west to bottom inventory. And that will go in there as well. And now we're back into where we should be, which is actually all of that stuff going through. Okay, it's an easy mistake. Any half-wit could have made it. So yeah, it's the same theme. The humour looks a little more, I don't know, maybe grim would be. I mean, it is about graveyard and corpses and everything. So, but it's got that same theme, and I really do like the look of it. So I'm not sure. I may have a little break and do that. I've also been gifted. Well, I actually bought a pad copy, but many years ago, a game called Vintage Story, I think it was, and it's based on Terra Firma Craft. It is quite clearly a Minecraft clone, and I think my phone's ringing here. Let me just check. No. Yeah. Oh, of course. Christ, if you can't laugh at these things, then you might as well give up and go home. All right. No, I don't want you like that. Don't like you like that. What I'm thinking is, you're wasting your time. I'm not answering. Okay. So we're going to have to do it like this, aren't we? I don't think there's an easy way because of the sidedness of these. Now, the only thing is I'm not overly keen on that green. Let's have a look. How is that going to work? So if I'm like this, and I know it kind of goes under here, but there you go. And it butts up against the wall there, but that's fine. We can get the old chisels and bits going on that. Yeah, so Graveyard Keeper is definitely a game that I think would potentially be entertaining, but we'll see. As I say, there's it is definitely a Minecraft clone. There's no way on this planet that you could ever consider it to be otherwise. Right, let's. See, I'm not sure about that. Yeah, we don't have a thatch block. That is. Let me just try that. I mean, we got wheat, which we can turn into the hay bale, but that is the only thing we've got, I think. Don't think barley turns into anything, does it? No. So that looks to be about the best option there is. I can get up from the top over there, can't I? I mean, I'm not. I suppose the problem is with this, it's because it's that green stripe. That's what it is. It's that green stripe. I don't like it. We're not using it. We need to find something else. What else? What could we use? Let me go and put this away because we use it. We can use this for scene as a fuel anyway, so it's not like a wasted trip. But the other thing I should do before I wander off too far, because the last thing I'm not too worried. There is a priest, but the last thing I really want is a creeper in here. I don't mind any other mob, but we do skill. We don't want a creeper in there because they'll set him off. Hi, Bacon. Hello, chicken. Are you hungry, are you? No, not getting. No, it's not giving me the right seeds, is it? Oh well, tough. I'll get you some. Right. So we need to think about a roof block. Now we could use another wood. That's always an option, and just use the chisel texture of that wood. What can we? Let's leave you. And let's put that away for the time being. take those out while we're thinking about it. So what other woods have we got? Obviously eucalyptus not going to work. Pink roofs not ideal. Murray pine is a bit bland. Kind of thinking that maybe dark oak might be the if we were to get a dark oak and use a mix, I could do with more dark oak, that's for certain. I know I've got plenty over there, so we'll take a stack of that. We'll drop off the... God, my inventory is absolutely marish. Let me pop that away, and I don't know why I'm carrying bowls around either. Let's get rid of those. And yeah, let's go and see what we can do with a little bit of dark oak. Oh dear. So I put my back out a bit this weekend as well. That was entertaining. So one of the great things about getting old, you know, is everything starts to just fail. And it's seriously, it's like some kind of conspiracy going on. Right, so if we wanted something that looks like a shingle, we've got these vertical. Oh, let's try that. Now if we were to grab you and just go and then come underneath and do that, it's okay. Let's see, let's just take that around a little bit over here and a little bit under here. Yeah, I've been painting, and I always throws me out when the moment I start doing DIY, my back decides it wants to go and tell me that it doesn't want to do it. To be fair, I don't want to do it, but you know, it has to be done. So that's how life goes. I think these will work. We'll get in here. Oops. That wasn't quite what I wanted to do, but hopefully we've got plenty of space in the bag. So, well, come here, you. There we go. Thank you. Oh yeah. And yeah, it's just probably not helping being sat all day as well, because I've been I was supposed to be finishing off the decorating today, didn't want to do it. It's horrible, it's wet, it's not a nice day in the UK, so I sacked off. I just basically went, no, I ain't doing it. And that went down really well. Just break me that. And then we'll pop it back. Actually, we'll pop that down because it's going to give us some illumination. And then getting, which one is it? It's that one, I think. Yeah, mine was rugby. I used to play rugby a lot when I was a kid, and well, not when I was a kid, when I was a late teens. Into early 20s, but when I was younger I got a pitchfork stuck through my knee, which weakened my patella, so it drops out a lot, and just it's like most of these things, it complains when I ask it to do something. Yeah, this kind of works. I'm not too displeased with this as a small hovely roof. That's fine. You know, it's part of life, innit? It comes along and it basically goes. The worst thing is I never feel like I'm actually that old, so I always feel like I should be able to do all of these things that I used to do. So consequently, like when I go and play squash with the guys at work, I'm trying to bomb around the court like I don't know. Oh dear, that was not good. Undo. Let me chop a few more of those up. Was that one, I think, isn't it? And that should be enough to finish this off. It's all right. It's a little bit Smurfy. I feel like maybe a Smurf should live here or something like that, but oh yeah, my body definitely says otherwise. It frequently reminds me. Now, as a hovel, obviously this, I'm going to grab that because this does require it to be parquet floored, is the word I was thinking of. And of course it will have a bit of glass in there. I'm not going to bother with a fancy frame. I am going to, however, bother with a bit of this, and then we'll just take a little path from here. We'll take that one, we'll drop that, and we'll just bring it in like that, and then we'll get a little bit of something else there, a little bit of something else there, and the world will be good and happy. Well, we need a roof as well. Of course, parquet flooring. I know. It's just because you're a peasant doesn't mean you can't have some standards, you know. They saved up for a bit of parquet flooring. That's what it was. Right, what are we going to do for the roof? We are going to use... We'll use the rest of some more of this, I suppose. And we'll just bat that. I'm going to need new chisels again at this rate. You know what, I think if someone said to me, what is your most used tool in a game of Minecraft? Is it a pick, sword, bow? I would probably say chisel these days. It says a lot, but... Right. We can take you out there. Now I have a little plan here. Because one of the problems I'm having with some of these roofs is that they are spawnable, or at least appear to be as far as the game is concerned. So what we're going to do is, if I can anyway, oh God, we can't, damn it, that'll do. My usual trick would be to just stick a bit of chisels and bits work in there, but I think this probably is the better. We should have lost that spawnable spots on the roof now. We do need to make this unspawnable, so we'll borrow that. Yeah, it's a salvage job. A peasant stole it from his rightful lord. Just needs a door, and probably some visible source of light as well. Visible source of light. Oops, hang on. Let's make his table a table, because we can use that. And then we'll... Seriously, you're not going to let me do that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Give me... I know I've probably got loads of these stashed. What I should... Yeah, in fact, there was one there, look. Now, obviously, I can stick furniture in these, I can go mad with things like that. That's always an option. But it does take a little bit of getting used to having these guys wandering around in here. I want a tree. Let's go and get rid of some stuff, and then we'll come back to these others. Well, maybe go. One of the things I'm also conscious of is I think I need some more iron. So I may actually go and, because we're not desperate for iron. I mean, you know, we've got another 8 ingots there, and then all sorts of bits and pieces in this smeltery. But we're actually completely out of iron ore. So we may need to head out and just grab some of that while we're thinking about it. For the time being, I'm just going to get rid of everything that isn't a bit. Oh, except for that. Well, that's a bit as well. And that can go in, and that. And then we can get rid of those, and that, and that, and that. And we'll lose the dirt. We'll go and sort that chicken out. And I should have my hammer. Yeah, I have. So there's one. It has a whole window. You could only afford one. Oh, I went to the tree, didn't I? That's what. Forget my head if it weren't screwed on, I tell you. Did I manage to get... I think I did, didn't I? Except for this one. That's the only thing left to improve, which I'm not going to worry about. Trees. Get me a... I'll go for an oak. Oak is perhaps the most forgiving of all of the trees in terms of its ability to grow anywhere, with irrespective of what's about it. So we'll try and put one of those. Not a dynamic, because that will just go mad. Yeah, I need to do something here. I definitely do need to do something there. Right. There you go. Well, you're hungry, yeah? Ah, no, you're not. There you go. It's a happy chicken now. Maybe I should get a chicken run, actually. That should be something. Could be something that would work. Right. Grow tree. Wow. Alright, that works. And then we'll just whack a little bit of overgrowth around here. And I think we can say that that quarter is now done. I suppose over... Yeah, not quite. Yeah. No, no. Excuse me, sir. We need a donkey. Come on. Right, we're going to head out to Limonite mine and grab a little bit. Hi, Columbia. Is that the Columbia in the South America or the British Columbia? Or, I don't know. Are there many Columbias? I'm never certain, actually, you know. I've worked in geography for 12 years. Actually, I don't do the geography side, so that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. But I am terrible when it comes to places and things. I always know of Colombia as being that place with the where most of the happy powders come from. The things that we shouldn't talk about. Well, I suppose it's not hurt to talk about them. We just shouldn't do them. Okay, where are we? Yeah, the South American one. Good God. No, I think I've been close-ish. I mean, I've been to Jamaica. That was fairly close to Colombia. We do have I do actually work with people who have... sorry, I just need to make sure this guy stays put. We have quite a lot of geography work out in out that way. So Havana is an area that we have a lot of our staff go out to. I'll get rid of that. Hang on. Give me a couple of those. Jump back off of him. Right, what have we got down here? I can't remember where I left this. whether there was anything left here or whether I need to go and find another one. Yep. It is one of the beautiful things about having the geologist, though, is I left it. One of the great things about this mod is you just come out with so much iron. When you find iron, you're not doing this, I found 4 and then moving on. Oh no. No. You find iron for days, to the point where you want to go and get your hammer out, and you want to go and do this, which I really should have done ages ago, because it makes this job so much easier. But yeah, this will sort out any iron problems we have for ever, really. Come on, how big is this vein? I know the limonite veins do tend to be very, very large, because they're deeper, whereas the magnetite veins are the smaller ones, which are closer to the surface. Cool. Right, so that's a whole bunch of that. Let's head this way. What I'll do is I'll just grab a few stacks of this, because remember, it's one stack of this is 2 stacks of iron, so you know that's plenty to be going at. Shame we haven't got much use for nickel, but there you go. Get around. I do get around, but how do I say? How do I put it? I think one of the points of as you get older is and start to clear those wonderful things called debts that you build as a younger person, is that you get more opportunities to, I'm just going to whack a torch down there because it's very dark down here. You get more opportunities to travel. There you go, that'll get us to a nice point. And to me, that I do like to get out there and expand my horizons reasonably. I don't want to see everything. Well, I do want to see everything. There's places I have no real. Oh, hello. We'll have you in a moment. There's places I have no real ambitions to go to, or no significant ambitions. Maybe would be a better one. The other one is I am somewhat averse to flying too long. So we're planning, because we went to India earlier this year, as you probably know, and it's my 50th next year, so we were trying to decide where we were going to go for my 50th, and my better half had suggested Bali, and I said, well that's nearly Australia. As far as I'm concerned, it is anyway. How far is it? How many hours on the plane? And it's like 16. Nope, not doing it. 16 hours stuck on a plane. No, not my idea of fun at all. Maybe one day, but right now, no significant desire to travel anywhere near that far for any significant length of time. So we're doing India again, just because I love the country, and the food and the people. It's got a thing about it. It's incredibly. I never did actually get around to putting the vlog out that I recorded. I just never really managed to edit it in a way that I liked. But it's a. How do you say? It's quite a dirty country, in that there's a lot of garbage, and it's not. It's a bit tired at times. I think it's probably a way to say it, but it has a certain something about it, and you can't put, I can't put my finger on it. There's something there which you just kind of go, wow, this is such a relaxed place. It's bizarre. You're walking around, and not least of which because there's cows on the streets. It's everywhere. Cattle are rife. If we had cows on the streets the same way they have cows on the streets, we would probably call them vermin. They were that prevalent and dangerous. By talking to the taxi drivers, they are regular accidents with the cows. So it's interesting, but never got as far as South America yet. That's one. I do have it on my bucket list, is to go to Aruba, which is almost South America, but I've never got as far as South America. Maybe one day. Not entirely sure where I would go in South America, but maybe one day. All right, let me just finish off getting a whole load of this. See, the nice thing about doing video over streaming is, of course, I can just sit there and say I'll be back in 5 minutes. I'll be back in a few minutes, and of course, as far as you lot are concerned, no time at all passes. But from a point of view of me, it could be as long as it takes. Right, let's see what we've got going this way, and then we'll have a look going up. Man, wow, there is so much iron down here. It's crazy. And we've got a house full, by the way, so if you hear strange noises, that's just the family. I don't know, I think it's very easy to judge by the standards of what you're used to. I mean, India is very dirty compared to the UK, but there's certain parts of the UK that are quite grubby as well. So they're all, it's much of a muchness. I think you get out of it what you put in. God, there's so much iron. I don't know how. I honestly do not know how big this vein is, by the way. It's I just know it's a biggie. I'm glad my hammer's wearing out. That's a good one. I mean, there are places. I mean, when you think about it, there are places in the UK that the police won't go. In the same way that there are places in many foreign countries that the police won't go. I mean, you hear horror stories about Kingston Town in Jamaica. I've never actually been. I have no great desire to go, to be honest. And yet Jamaica itself was lovely. Although, again, people judge it. You look at it and they go, "Oh, I could probably build a super tanker." But if you look at if you go to Jamaica, it's quite funny because you're driving around, and most of the buildings in Jamaica, as you see them by the roadside, have got corrugated tin roofs and stuff. And for us Brits, that's like, oh, look how poor they are with corrugated tin roofs. And it's like you have to sit there and think, they live in an area of the world where they routinely have, what's my nutrition like? I can eat what I like. I'm going to have a taco. I don't need to eat it. It's not eat, it's drink. I'm just looking at the wrong bar there. Yeah, it's interesting actually, because I was looking at this is a fairly big vein. If you've ever looked at the history of the architecture of the UK, so we live in a pretty standard terraced house from the 1900s. Was built literally in the 1900s, and it's fairly typical of its type. It's what's it, two bed, well, it's a 3-bedroom because it's got an attic room, but most of them of this type are usually 2-bedroom. Terrace, usually built for the miners, because it's a mining town we live in, and at first glance you would be forgiven for assuming that all of the houses were the same on the street. But the way they set these up when these were built back in the 1800s, obviously we didn't have the advantage of the massive machinery that we have now, the JCBs, the diggers, the cranes, the forklift, all of these tools which make life that much easier. And what happened is on the street they basically got multiple builders in, and they said, here's the design for the houses, you are building 4 of them, and they give them 4 builders. Each building company will get 4 houses, and what would happen is they'd say, that's the design, you're allowed to make some tweaks, you can add your own flourishes to it, but don't stray too far from it, and obviously your costs have to be kept sensible. And so consequently, if you ever actually look at a row of terrace houses in the UK, really look at them, you'll actually see that every 4 block of 4 houses, and I think some places did 2s and slight variations on a theme, but for the most part it was 4. There's a slight change in the design, so you can actually see the actual changes as they go down. And it's interesting because when you actually look at the building styles from that period, even though these were houses which were being built for the working class, they still put an awful lot of effort into getting the little details, the stone lintels in and stuff, and it's fascinating. I find looking at this architecture that we have around us amazing. I mean, it's one of the reasons I tried to do the brick builds for the factories in both seasons of Sid's Modded Life was because that style of building was just such an amazing style, and very very real. What's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, it's you can see these houses and go. Yeah, they built these with a degree of pride in the work, which I don't know whether we still have it or not. And that's not me wanting to sound like when I was a lad, people had pride in the work, and they weren't afraid of a bit of elbow grease, because that's not the way it rolls. But there was certainly a different work ethic, I think, a different style. Yeah, well, if you're in London, they probably cost about £500,000 each as well. I remember I sold my house. I lived in Doncaster for a while, and I had one of these terraced houses. I'm going to get the lot now while I'm here. I just can't see the point in not getting the lot. And I think I paid, I'm trying to think, it would have been 1989, and I think I paid £19,000 for it. 2-bedroom terraced house in Doncaster. And I was doing some work up in London when I was chatting to a fellow, and he was on about buying his house, and it was a very similar house to mine, and I just curiously said, oh Jesus, that's just obscene. He just said, oh, you're selling your house. We were talking about it, and I told him I was selling mine. I said, oh, how much you? And I told him, and he was like, Jesus, you can't even buy a garage in London for that. In fact, if you do buy a garage in London, half the time they tend to get lived in anyway. So yeah, it makes me. I'm not a big fan of big cities. Nottingham is a nice sized city. it's just what I would call a nice sized city. But population of... What's the population of Nottingham now? I'm just trying to think. Hang on a second. I'm going to go find out. Nottingham population. Remember, 289,000 in 211. So 306,000. So yeah, 306,000 people live in Nottingham. Roughly, what? I'm trying to think. London is 8 million at the last count, I think. So yeah, it's a slight difference in size. One of the things that I find, the other thing I find fascinating is the fact that some of the American states, the one I actually did it for, because going back, I used to write role-playing game supplements, and we did a post-apocalyptic modern setting called Year of the Zombie with a friend from Medford, Oregon, and but obviously it was a post-apocalyptic zombie survival game. So you don't have to be a genius to realise it was basically Dawn of the Dead. Using D20 modern rules, which is, if you're not familiar with Dungeons and Dragons, it's D20. And I was looking, because I started writing a supplement because I was interested in what would happen if you took the same setting, the same Dawn of the Dead style apocalypse, and did it in the UK. Because if you look at most of these zombie films, they're always set stateside. And because they're always set stateside, there's always lots and lots of guns available. So what would happen if you put that into a country that was less gun friendly? And one of the things I realised quite early on was that the big demographic change from America to the UK, as well as the guns, was the sheer population density. If you look at the UK is I can't remember. It is ever so slightly smaller than the state of Oregon in the States. Ever so slightly smaller in area. Population terms, we have 70 million population. They have 3. Not 3 population, 3 million population. Obviously 3 would be very thing. So the other thing that would be huge in the UK in the event of a zombie apocalypse would be just the sheer spread of the zombies. They would spread like a disease, And we did some modelling, a bit of statistical modelling on, this is the kind of stuff I do for fun. A bit of fun statistical modelling just to keep my hand in. And we worked out, I can't remember the exact rates of death at the time, but of course that's cheerful conversation, isn't it? But the number of people who died in the UK a day at the time was actually surprisingly low. It was something like about 3,000. This is from everything natural causes. Natural causes and all of those things. Now, if you went with the Dawn of the Dead style, which, again, you have to look at the type of zombie apocalypse you had, because Dawn of the Dead, anybody who died came back to rose as a zombie. It wasn't a case of infection. Everybody who died came back. And I'm going to get gravelled at this. I'm not careful, aren't I? Whereas obviously some of the more modern, like zombie movie things that work on the idea of an infection that brings the dead back to life. Yeah. Which city are you in? If that's not prying too much, I'm just curious. I went out to Oregon. Swining thing. But it is surprising. I mean, 21,000, we wouldn't even call that a city. That's a town. or if you live in London, 1 square mile of Kensington, Roseburg. I don't know it. I went out to Medford when I was out there, and then I visited Portland for a short while, mainly because my flight got stuffed. Wow, how are we doing? We're nearly there. So yeah, it was interesting because you started to look at the just the sheer dynamics and the differences in population, and we live in such a different world now that that's fine. I'm not leaving anything behind. But it was just an interesting kind of feeling. Now I think we worked out that it would take about 2 days for London to become virtually lifeless, given a zombie uprising where people were being killed by the dead and then coming back. Is it particularly mountainous there? I know I don't think I ever want to get on that flight to Medford again. That was, oh man, I've never been on a plane where I actually physically feared for my life other than this plane. It came in over the mountains and it just landed at like nobody's business. Just came in and bang, was down there. Oh, you are not going to brake like that, are you? Okay, we'll do it that way. We're probably quicker to do it like this anyway now. Oh yeah, gravel. We're starting to get to the end of it. Exercising, grabbing iron. Of course, we've got to smelt all this. Yeah, it was. We came in over the hills, and then this. I use the word plane loosely. It was basically a bus with wings. It was tiny. I mean, I get upset if I'm expected to go on a propeller plane. That's how. I'm not scared of flying. Before I say it, the actual flying itself doesn't bother me, but the technology of flying. Even though I know propeller planes are actually technically safer than jets, I still get a little bit jittery. I'm not leaving a single bit of iron down here because I want it all. I'm guessing you're Oregon way out as well, are you then, Adara? Is there seriously a place in Oregon called Drain? I'm not going to judge, but that really does sound, like the stuff you put waste down. Mind you, I suppose there's only so many words in the English language, isn't there? I mean, it's... And I think they'd run out of English place names by the time they'd finished with New England, hadn't they? And having said that, I mean, if you actually look at the origin of the name of the places you live, it can be quite fascinating. I say one of the things we've done for work in the past, I was involved with a key to English place name. Yep. Well, strangely enough, so was the city of Nottingham, although it was a Viking who settled this, because again, for 600 years this part of England was under Viking rule, and Nottingham was actually settled by a Viking named Snot. It literally means the home of Snot's people. So there you go. So it wasn't Nottingham, it was Snottingham, which of course, if if the word snot has the same meaning where you come from, is immensely hilarious to anybody under the age of 10. There we go. And I don't know whether, I think I might have mentioned this. I certainly mentioned it on at least one video before now. But there was there's a place near us called Beeston, and it's spelt let me get this right, Beeston. So naturally, everybody who lives in Beeston, oh, it's night time, we probably need to sleep before we go up there. Everybody who lives in Beeston thinks it's something to do with bees, because it's got the word bee in it. And the town council have even commissioned and had a large bronze statue of a beehive with a beekeeper in the town centre. The actual origin of the name is nothing to do with bees whatsoever. It's actually another Viking phrase, and from Beoston, which is the hill of the waving grass. But there you go. People assume, and you know what assume makes. It makes I see you, sir. The only drawback we're coming up after anybody else want a piece of me before I go and get my ass. Donkey. Okay. Here you go, Dobbin. You can have that pack back. No point trying to jump him out. He jumps like a sack. Dum dee 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 dum. Myrtle Creek. Sounds like it belongs in Australia. Oh man. And round and down, and I know it was completely pointless, but I'm glad I did that. I think it added to that little space there. We get there. Oh dear. So, where are we? 9 o'clock, and so far I built a hovel and got a whole load of iron. So good start for the day. I see. Slacking. Obviously gone off to try and borrow a beer from the locals. I've got a real itch going on here as well now. Oh man. Really? Well fed. Book, book. Yeah. Ah. Is that myrtle ebony? I'm just trying to think about. Let me get what we got there. Get me some manulin going. We'll get the nickel, because I honestly don't think we have a use for nickel. We can make those, and we can use it as a cast. And yeah, it has no use whatsoever in this. Okay, but we do have a use for you, so I'm just going to pop that in there, pop that, or some of that in there. That'll be off on its way, and we can just do a quick repair job on that. That was cheap. Oh man, yes, I'm sure it's myrtle. What's it in forestry? Hang on. Yeah, it's myrtle ebony, isn't it? In Let me just turn that off. Right, there we go. Right, what we're doing. More hovels, I suppose. Cool. I went to school in a place called Retford, which was originally Redford, named after the clay in the ford in the river. And in Nottingham there's a place called Radford, which was originally Redford, named after the clay in the forge in the river. So yeah, where am I doing? Right, let me get rid of those. I need to drink that, and we'll get some fresh water. That's not what I wanted. There we go. I wanted fresh water. Alright. Oh, still got a flint on me for some reason. Still got those hovels. I might want to make those though. I'm really kind of resisting doing the hovels. I know what we'll do. The farm is not complete without a few more things. We've got the piggies. That's the thing. I'd like to get. Let's see. Have I got any walls? One or two. Have I got any gates? No. And some sticks. Should have plenty of sticks. One or two. How are we doing for space in there anyway? Oh, we're right. So gate should be those. Depends on what you're running. And what version of Minecraft it is. So I'm trying to think. Let me just check what's on, if I can find out my details. I'm fairly certain my server is currently running 6 gig with 112, and it is struggling even with 6 gig. With 113 it's apparently even more of a headache. The older ones, I used to find that if you were working with something like, I don't know, 1.7 and 1.8, those versions were a lot better on RAM, but a little worse on processor. And it's kind of swings and roundabouts, because what they've done is they've moved it now so Minecraft loads all the textures and everything into memory, and obviously a server, even though it's a server, still loads all those textures into memory, which reduces the processor load. Is there a reference I should have been getting? I'm not sure. Oh well, if there was, if I'm sat there rattling on with sage advice, and there wasn't, he finally got up to the point where this is done, by the way. The pigs are going mad, and they have run out of slop as well, but we have got plenty of this going in here now. And it looks like a pig died, which is interesting. Let's get a slop bucket and give them things. Yeah, I'm not sure. Was there a reference there? Have I missed a reference? Oops. Sorry. I think I just... Oh. That's so cute. Yeah, it is a hard one. I can't. They look at me with those big eyes. Actually, I'm just thinking, because we know winter is on its way, we really should get this done, because we've got a nice full load here. So, and and there we go. I'll get these harvested, I think. Oh, I don't need to think about bacon. I've worked with a colleague who's obsessed by it. His desktop wallpaper on his PC is a full English breakfast. So, you know, you don't get any chance. You are basically living the break bit. Oh, hang on a second. Streaming. What? You what? No, I had a kebab. I am live, by the way. It's all right. Just getting a question.
Selfish git.
Right, that's my eldest stepchild who was looking to see if with black. No, he doesn't like black pudding. Ironically, I do. Things wanted to know if I wanted anything for the takeaway, but I already had one. So he's somewhat annoyed with me for not including him in the takeaway. Yeah, no, Eddie is not a black pudding fan. Me, I love black pudding. I once had a disagreement with a Scottish lady about a full Scottish breakfast, because a friend of ours who were up in Scotland visiting, and she goes, and she says, and I'll not do the accent because I'm reliably told that I can't do accents, but she goes, oh, we'll do your full Scottish breakfast, and it's like, oh, that sounds interesting, full Scottish. So we went up, and there was bacon, and there was sausage, the famous and ever-present square sausage, tatty scones. No whiskey. Tatty scones, square sausage, fried haggis. But I kind of pointed out and I said, hang on, this is a full English breakfast. And she goes, no, it's a full Scottish breakfast. I said, no, it's a full English breakfast that you just added two things to. You can't, you know, add something to somebody else's breakfast and then call it your own. That's just not on. But it was a nice breakfast. It was just a full English breakfast with a few Scottish ingredients. Yeah. It'd be like having a full Welsh breakfast and having a fried leek on it. Or full Irish and having some fried potatoes. Well, actually, I could do with a bit of fried potato. That would work. Tatty scones, yeah. They are basically a oat-cakey thing. Yes, they're an ooze officially. But they're also, of course, black blood sausage would be the blood sausage if you want to go German. Blutwurst. See, the thing with black pudding's an odd one, because if you're going to do black pudding, it really does need to be a good quality black pudding with the little bits of fat in it. Because then you actually feel like you're getting, you know, a proper meal, whereas the cheaper black pudding tends to be blood with very little fat, and it's probably healthier, actually, being cheaper and less fat in it, but I personally think the taste suffers. Oh, pardon me. Oh, nicely fried with a bit of bacon and some sausage, beans, hashed browns, fried bread, toast, bread and butter. Yeah, when I take my breakfast seriously. But again, I suppose all of these things are very much down to individual preferences, aren't they? Right, now we've got have you. Don't you be getting it on in the mud. There, this is one of the problems you've got. Right, we need to fix that. These guys drink water source blocks. And sometimes manage to get themselves thoroughly into... So what I think we're going to need to do is do something like this. So there are no individuals. That should stop them destroying the source blocks, I think. Well, it depends if whereabouts on the continent. I mean, you know, if you're going to France, then you'd have a petit déjeuner, I presume. I would certainly go for some petit déjeuner. It is actually quite a lovely way of saying breakfast. Yeah, a small dinner. The French have got. I mean, I know I routinely say the Brits and the French don't get on, and I think it's more of an affectation these days. Woohoo! Let's pop those away. Definitely black pudding. You've got to have a nice black pudding, a good quality one. I mean, when we were in Berlin, I fell in love with currywurst as well. That was probably because the problem is, you see, we have a shop here called Aldi, which does a lot of the continental sausages and the likes. And I've discovered that with the careful application of a certain pre-made curry sauce and a nice sausage from this particular supermarket, I can usually manage to emulate. Oh crap! I'm going to need a whole load of dirt, aren't I, if I'm going to do it? Mind you, I could fill it up. That would be the other alternative. Yes. Oh, yep. All right. So first things first, we need to remove these gardens. What the hell is that? Oh, that's just a thing falling down. I didn't recognise a block for a second. Yeah, so we'll fill them up with water rather than the other way round. That will work, won't it? And what I'll do, I think, actually, will... right, that can go in there, because we don't want to have any single blocks, because they're, you know, they can but animals can consume them. See how we go. So I think we're going to basically get some cattle down. should be reasonably easy. I am going to fill that in a little bit just because it looks unsightly. Right, so we can take we'll take the wall from here. And then we'll kind of go for a bigger pen than the pig pen. Cows are a bit easier as well. They don't have the same requirements for mud and stuff to keep them happy. So nope. We'll probably want to lose that because I'm going to guess that is going to cause problems if I leave it there. And if anything, you know, this lake might be a bit big. I might need to fill that in a bit. I think I probably do. Let's go and get some dirt. And fill that in a wee bit. Then if we can go and find some cattle, then we'll be pretty reasonable, I think. How are we doing for dirt? I think maybe three stacks should be more than adequate. So yeah, the great breakfast debate. Of course, there is one question which needs to be asked. And that is brown or red sauce. The greatest debate of our time, to be fair, is whether you can ask any kind of dumb question. You can ask a fully dumb one or a totally undumb one. Either one works. While I contemplate the great and unknowable question of brown or red sauce. Terry's got it, but it is, yes. Definitely in this one, and in, well, pretty much, to be fair, about every pack I do these days. Right, I'm going to fill this one all the way in. No, I think the sauce one is more emotive for me. Yeah, I'm going to fill that in. I don't want it to be quite that deep either. You can. I'll give you the clue as to how well you can tell. Let's just head over. Well, just about anything I built, actually. To be fair, that has definitely got a lot of chisels and bits going on in it. That has all got a lot of chisels and bits going on in it, and all the walls. The cow's drowned. Yeah, that is all been chisels and bits. Every single log of that wall was a chisels and bits thing. Not in this pack, I don't think. We've got Malice's doors in this pack. No, we haven't. I had it in Sid's Modded Life. I didn't use it in Sid's Modded Life 2, although I did use some bits of it, I think. Oh, did I? I can't remember now. chisels and bits is the lack of life. For me, it takes over. Right, I need to find a cow. I actually need to find 2 cows. I need to find a bull and a heifer. Because we don't want the mistake I made in TFC where I actually tried to milk a bull. That was, you know, just don't do it. Oh yes, it is. Oops. Oh bum! I've just put it on, haven't I? Oh right, yeah. Does that, doesn't it? Okay, hang on then. That was right. Okay, so this is picking up your idiot stuff with Sid. Almost. Yeah, that was also in there. Was anything else in there? That was. Right, well, I was trying to drink. Cow. There must be some cows around somewhere. They're always around when I don't want them. Oh dear. There's one. Bull. Oh no, it's a cow. Yeah, you can tell. It's got udders. Right, cow. Let's see whether you... Do you like that? Apparently not. Right. I need to go back and get some wheat that it recognises. It doesn't recognise barley, which is a pain. I don't want that anyway. Longhorn, yeah, longhorn cow. There's four different varieties of cow in Animania off the top of my head. Drink. Probably not a good idea drinking out of the moat. God knows what Nobby and Colon have been getting up to in there. Sorry, I realised I only harvest half the crops, and as soon as winter comes, I suspect certainly every single one of those vanilla crops is dying, and I suspect that this one will too. I'm not sure about the rustic. That may survive. The barley should survive, but I know this is going to kick it. It is, especially when they don't get... I think someone managed to get born out of the... pig pen. Come on. It's always the danger, is if they... I haven't. They don't get a latrine. They have to hold it. Alright, Bartholomew Longstride. There's some work for you. Take that. Let's try again with the cows. Oh, not quite there. I don't think I actually use much chisels in bits other than for the platforms and the hidden lighting. There's an awful lot of hidden lighting that is chisels and bits in there as well. And these little smidges around the edges of the bricks. Right, let's go and find that longhorn cow. It was over. Now the only drawback is I might end up with the sheep following me as well. I don't want the sheep yet. I do want to get sheep going, but I just want the cattle. Okay, Mr. Moo Cow. You know what? I went all the way over there. I've just realised went all the way over there to get that, and I could have just done that. Which probably would have been a lot faster and quicker. Yes. Yeah, well, I think you do anyway. I can't say that I've tried to breed incompatible varieties, but yes, that is my mine. Well, it's quarry. It's just artificial. It's actually it's a store for the blocks. Come on. So all of the general big bulk storage blocks are stored in these piles, and then there's a barrel hidden in them where we actually store the items. Come on, Daisy. I'm going to have to go and find a longhorn bull then. That's going to be... It's been a lot of fun building this... Come on, Daisy. There we go. There you go. Get yourself comfy while I go and sleep somewhere, and then we'll go and find you a friend. Wait for that to go down. Yeah, I was experimenting because we started off on the other side with the wood piles, and that's where we so it's probably easiest. So I've got to go that. I've kind of got to go and find a longhorn anyway, and they're off that way. So where are we? Yeah, we're over there. Yeah, but it won't because it's a well-behaved cow. We'll check around here anyway. There's a good chance there's a cow about here. But yeah, this is all the wood storage. So all of the logs are actually stored in chests hidden underneath. Alright, cow. Well, bull, actually. Alright. Pig. We don't want you, we want a cow. Goat. Oh. Definitely don't want them fellas. Where are we? Let's Maybe I should have brought a horse. See, there's that. I would quite happily settle for a pair of a different breed if necessary. That is a Holstein, I think. That is a Holstein bull. Yes, you can tell it's a bull because he is anatomically correct. And right. Another Holstein bull. Damn it. 2 bulls, no cows. Right. Is that a Holstein cow? We may... Oh, wow. That is a Holstein cow. I've lost one of me leads as well, damn it. And yeah. Right, we'll take that back. We'll go and get the bull and we'll go with Holstein instead. Not a biggie. Dead. Right, hang on. So, sorry, just need the all-important bottle opener. Better. Oh man. That was yeah, I think the Longhorn are the beef cows. The Holstein is one of the milk cows. So, you know, just why is it bottles of beer always do that to me? When I open them, they just spray everywhere. Right, let's go and wander over that way. If you ever wonder, if you're ever looking for a sign that you're turning middle-aged, wait until you get a penknife. Once you've bought a penknife, that's it, you're doomed. You are now officially middle-aged. Only for men, that one, by the way. I don't know, I think women have different signs, like, you know, the handbags get to the point where they can live in them or something. Certainly seems to be the case in the case of my better half. Some of her handbags now are quite capable of carrying the contents of one of our rooms. Dude. Really? Round here, come on. Right, there is a trough at the back of the thing, so... It came as I started when I got one from my mother-in-law had in a lot of her effects she left a whole load of stuff behind. Breakdancing Longhorn. Come on then. And there you go. Right. I don't know why I worry about that. A cow can't actually physically get out of that. You were breakdancing on that, weren't you? You were. I know you were. Right, we need a bull. Yeah, this is probably about 2.5 inches. It's not certainly UK legal. I mean, Christ, that's how you can tell the difference between the UK and the States, isn't it? We have UK legal knives, let alone guns. You know, we have regulation on what knives you can have, and interesting. And there we go. So let's go and find, there was, I think the nearest Holston was bull was up the hill, wasn't it, up there. So rather than walking all the way round, we can go and take the shortcut through the orchard of doom. I really ought to try for a better pear tree, you know, that really doesn't have much on it at all. Ermintrude was a classy cow. Right, Pigou. I think I might be coming in and doing a bit of constructive butchering down there. Maybe. Well, it was bloody here not 5 minutes ago. Where the hell's that cow gone? You know what? What was that? I apologise. It's like whack a goat. Oh, I actually felt quite rotten then. Only a little bit. What have we got? 20 what? Oh. Sorry, it's nothing personal, but you're just gonna, well, on your own you're not going to start doing anything, but you know what I mean. They're just going to start breeding all over again if I'm not careful, and that will never do. So cover your eyes, cruelty to little goats. There we go, we're having him. However, we do need to, well, we'll get him out so far. Come on. Come on, you fine strapping fella. And I quite mean that quite literally in this case. And we'll have a quick snooze. Do I need them? Oh, not really. It's more for the look of I don't need pigs really, because I've got the ground traps. It's more to round out the farmland area to have, you know, a bit of everything going on there. It's a decorative feature. I mean, when you think about it, the majority of things, when you see some of these massive farms people build, even in vanilla Minecraft, they often don't actually need them by the time they actually get around to building these massive farms. You know, they've kind of beaten the game already. There, it's more a case of you swine little. Come on, doing it to see if you can, and this is a kind of a similar thing. Now, I mean, those goats will keep me going in leather. That's fine. But if it was for meat, for example, well, I don't need milk because I've got the. Oh. Yeah, that's an idea. You swine. Come on. I mean, realistically, if you wanted to pull one of these things, it's He's not going to go anywhere he doesn't want to. Except with that ring through his nose, because obviously that's what it was for. There is, yeah. And Holston are milk producing cows, so once we've managed to persuade these two to have a baby cow, then we'll be able to milk mummy cow. And the difference, come on you. And let's see. Make baby cow. No? You know what? I'm going to have to move that. They look pretty good decoratively, but the animals really don't thrive well on these. Can we try that again? No, apparently not. Right, oh, let's get rid of that one as well before we have breakdancing cows again, and we shall pop that. Oh, okay, had it on me. Need a trough, and we need to go and make something and borrow the anvil. So you make slops for the pigs, and you know that's all well and good, but my milk is up in the kitchen, so we need to go and we need to get a ready source of milk near the pigsty. And of course the best source of milk, just check how these are going. And these will need redoing, but I'm not in a desperate rush for that. They need baiting again. I wonder whether I could get away with, that's a thought. I'm going to try something while we're at it. While we stock up our... Oi! Stupid! Yeah, ancient warfare. These guys couldn't find the way out of a paper bag. Right. So what I wanted to do was there's a few. Well, first things first. Let's empty my inventory of crap that we don't need. That goes in there. Don't need you. Don't need that. Actually, technically that should have gone upstairs, but it doesn't matter. Trying to think what I needed. Now, just test something. Hopper, rustic barrel. It does work with them. Okay. So barrels. There. Make a rustic barrel. Just some iron. Slabs, I think any slabs will do, but we'll just go with 1, 2, 3, 4. You make 2 actually, so I only need to do half of that. Iron, I need a couple of those, that will do me, and God, that chicken. Grab those and that, and try and think what else did I want. Probably. Oh yeah, that was it. A milk jar, bucket of milk, glass, and something else. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One of those, bucket of milk, and we shall be fine. So we can go and stock up on our liquids. These aren't crafting benches. This is the only bloody problem with this. Alright, so we got that, we got all of that, we got those, we got all of that stuff going, yeah. Well, bane of my life is that I tend to go through and play a game. So I've just played in Sid's Modded Life, where I've got crafting on my C key, and then I'll come in here where I haven't got crafting on my C key, and yeah, it's confusing. Oh, anvil. Lovely. Oh, I was going to top up my water, wasn't I? That was right. Better. Thank you. You know, I am really happy with the way this town little structure is looking. I mean, it's taken a lot of work, but I think in the long run it has been well worthwhile. Let's go and deal with the elephant in the room, and I've got pretty much everything we need for that. Might need a bucket of water. Right, let's go. See, the problem here is we've got an area with a longhorn cow, a cow and a bull who are not making babies. Why are you not making babies? Oh, I meant to get that thing. However, let's see if we can't get you in the hole. In you go. Come on. Thank you. And then we'll stick that over there. You know what I haven't done? I think I might struggle. Is that. Right, then we're going to go 1, 2 like that, and get that in. Now it has been a bit hit or miss, so I find if I put a water source over there, then it gets us the actual thing we want. And oh, we'll have a snooze in there. Yeah, naming them would be a good idea. He's a flower. I could just see that, and I was thought for a moment that we'd got a case of a chicken looking out there. Oh, absolutely. The building is well, I think I said it when I started Sid's Modded Life, the very first season, and that was that the mods would facilitate the building, not the building to suit the mods. And I think for the most part I've kept to that. And there you go. Little cow in the jar. Let's go and give this. I don't really need that many. Let's go and give these guys some more slobs. Rubs up, piggoos. Right, that's that done. Done with that. Right, that was the other thing I wanted to have a play with. So sometimes it's the fun is all in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me just take 6 of those. Is the things, but the mods. If you want to see something where it is just all about the mods and not about the process or the building or the artistic side of things, then you'd watch something like Direwolf, who builds a 9x9 and knows how to use the mods perfectly for the most part, and that would be more than adequate. But for me, the mods are supporting a process, not the other way around. So 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So in theory, I could stock these up with vast amounts of bait. Fruit bait would be the other one we could put in there, and that would do things. Right, trough for the cow. And some name tags, I think. What we are at it. I think I've got name tags. But yeah, so I'm just about. In fact, let me just check quickly what my. Where are you? I think it's tomorrow's video. Tomorrow's Sid's Modded Life is the first. Yeah. So tomorrow's Sid's Modded Life is the first element of. I've just noticed the wire. They use a $500 thing. Yeah. But there we go. You always get. I usually get one of those. I mean, it'd be more believable if I actually had some form of donation button on this. Right, name tags. Oh, if we're going to name tag, we should probably put this back where it belongs as well. And we can get down here and have a look for some namey tags. 1 or 2. All right. Important questions now. Names for the cows. I've got a name in my head, but we'll see whether everybody comes up with anything better for starters. Just waiting for those cow names. However, I've got one. The cow, Jemima. That's not a cow name. That's the name of a puddle duck. Elsa. Yeah, but what kind of Abanaza? Elsa and Abanaza. See, I was going to go with Daisy and Duke, as in, the well-known short jeans. But I'm easy. Let's see whether we get any more takers on names. I'll have a slurp of beer. So the drawback of Twitch, of course, is that so we go with Daisy for the female, and the male will be Duke. Right, let us go and name. In fact, there's a quicker way to the cows. Quick way to the cows. go. Oh, if I could find a parrot, that would be heaven. I don't think. Well, I have found a jungle because I use the compass, but I thought we had a baby. We haven't. It's just. Oh, I forgot the trough again. Daisy and Duke. See, they don't quite breed the same as they're both well fed, neither of them are thirsty, they should not be bored. I mean, they don't desperately need that trough, they don't like each other, obviously. I'm guessing you've yeah, you've not had a baby yet, so we can't milk her. Well, do you think the gold nose ring might be a bit of a clue? Come on. No. Maybe we could sit there and just play that well-known romantic song, you know, do 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 outside the thing. I can't remember what the hell it's called, but it's got that little French voice going on. Right, let's get that trough, because otherwise I'll forget that. Now, if I were going to do a chicken coop, seeing as these chickens, let me have a look at Animania. So if I wanted to get, because you've got all the different meats, you've got your covered wagon and wagon, which actually we could get into doing that. They might look good around the place. Yeah, that's a possibility, although they are entities, which is a bit of a downside. Where are we? If I were looking at, yeah, there's your cheeses. You get Holston, gives you instant, is a cheese, is an instant health 3 potion. Jatam, that's the one. And if you do the goat and sheep's cheese, Jersey is instant health 3. And you can eat them at any time as well, so quite a good way of cheating the dairy thing if you can get into that. What I was looking for was, you got the cheese mold, you got the cheesy thing, you've got a hamster wheel. Oh, this is, you know what, I'm so tempted now to go and get a bloody hamster. I think I need, is it, God, what's the food? There's a, there we go, hamster food is just seeds. I wish I could spell. Yeah, I don't want to worry about it. Spelling seems to be a thing that's gone out, a big thing of the past anyway now. If you know, if we can make ourselves understood as to what we mean, then that's good enough. So, can I just use a random collection of seeds? Oh God, what the hell have I got a reasonable number of? Can I just use any old seed? No. That works though. There we go. That'll do. Right. The other one I want is, have I got any eggs in here? I haven't, but I think I've got them upstairs. I think ferret seat eggs. I think. Now oh, there we go, 16 eggs. So a couple of things I've been promising myself for an age, and we're going to go out and find them. And once I've slept the night off, and I'm thinking ferrets are savannah, what was it? Hamsters are desert. So if we kind of head that way, I could have taken a horse, but like I said, it's foreign. It's funny, for someone who never did French, it's probably the language I speak the most of. Not a big fan of it, but I do speak more of it than most other languages. Right. We're hunting ferret. I think if I was going to actually have a pet of any description right now, I probably would be a ferret. Well, I'm torn, because I'm actually quite I'm quite taken with the idea of having a snake at the moment. I quite. So eventually I will be moving from this space that I'm in into my new man cave once I mean, it's probably going to be a year or two, and I think I may even try and vlog the process once we get to it, because at the moment it's just a thing. But if you watch a YouTuber called The Mighty Jingles, you may or may not have heard of him. He's a World of Tanks YouTuber, and World of Tanks, World of Warships. Similar age to me, British, lives in Portman's, ex-Navy guy. And I've completely forgotten where I was going with that. Where was I going? No, gone. Oh no, yeah, he did a series where he basically chronicled the building of his man cave, or as I think, well, technically for him it would be a gnome cave, because he always refers to himself as a gnome. He's originally a World of Warcraft player, in which he played, you guessed it, a gnome. Get out of the way, piggy. Come on, show me a ferret. I won't be able to find one now. I'm looking for one. But he did this particular thing where he chronicled his building and painting and designing and layout and all of that stuff of the of his man cave. And I may do something similar. I don't know. I'll see how it goes. I struggle with the real world, in that it's actually a lot harder to edit the real world than it is to edit video games, and but I certainly, could do it. I mean, one of the things, and it's bizarre. It's a bizarre world, because, again, if you watch B00, for example, who I genuinely like as a character. He's got one of those personalities that is very hard to dislike. And originally, I think when I first started back in the days of Minecraft, I mean, I haven't actually looked recently. Is Minecraft actually even still going as a thing, or is it just an old blast from the past that has largely lost any? Oh, there's another longhorn down there, and another one. Might have to go and have those at some point. Is it largely a blast from the past that has become more of a a historical curiosity than anything else? Because I remember, if you think back, Minecraft was the Minecraft and Yogscast were the two big YouTube groups for Minecraft, and of course the Yogscast have always been more about the comedy than the game, which again, there's nothing wrong with that. I must admit, I've had tremendous fun watching the Yogscast over the years and just laughing at the things. I mean, the Jaffa Factory was probably, to this day, one of my all-time favourite YouTube series that they ever did. The old Tech It one. But Minecraft, I mean, they had the work. They were the standard, if you like. They were what every other Minecraft YouTuber aspired to be, and then all of a sudden, boom, and it just dropped out. And I don't know. I mean, I think from what I gather, there was some problems. There were some problems where they decided to try and make the Minecraft label into a network, and obviously that drove a number of people away, and then they had the some of the interesting. Sorry, I was playing Thorncraft and everything. I keep looking at those thinking, what the hell are they doing here? There's no Thorncraft in this. I think we're going to struggle. I don't think we're going to find a ferret. But yeah, Yogscast obviously still going, but again, they are all about the fun, and that the personality is not the games, and I think they always have been. Which again, not a problem, that's what people liked about them. I think we've got a matched pair. I didn't examine too carefully. Sounds a bit dangerous to me, examining a bull's bits a little bit, overly closely. If he doesn't want to be examined, he will not be examined. But yeah, I haven't heard I'll have to check it at some point, just to go and have a look, see whether Minecraft is still doing much. Oh, someone had a baby cow. We didn't have a baby cow, but somebody did. Wow, I've just got hiccups now. Yeah, calf. Bloody hell. I can't get my Holston to. I think you might be right about that Holster, about Duke. Duke might be might not be interested in the lady cows. Not seeing these ferrets anywhere though. That's a pain. Let's go and try and find a hamster then. Hamsters are easy. I know we can find hamsters. I've seen them. You see them every time I go anywhere, but if I can get a hamster, I'll be happy. I will take my lack of ferret and live with it in favour of the hamstery goodness. These ones look more like Dachshunds. Which, if I were going for a dog, that would probably be the dog I would go for now. I've kind of got a bit of a thing about Dachshunds now as dogs. I don't know why, couldn't tell you. They just suddenly, out of the blue, have become my... Oh, damn you. Get myself over here. Probably not. I don't think it's about. I think it was. There was a phase where, again, how do you put this? If you sit there and you build yourself up to 500,000 or 1 million subscribers or whatever, and your channel is primarily Minecraft, or 100% Minecraft, if that is all you ever do, and you get yourself to 1 million subs off Minecraft, then you shouldn't be surprised when you go and change your game that a whole load of those subs go, screw you, we're going home. It's like and a few of them managed to pull it off. I mean, Jenny B managed to keep his channel going outside of the Minecraft arena. Although I do notice he's playing. I didn't notice recently he's been playing Sevtech. So I don't know how that's gone for him, but and obviously Etho has managed to keep going, just doing pretty much what Etho always did and always does, and it seems to be a largely working equation for him. It's he has a style, a thing he does, and that's what he does, and it works very well. And obviously the Hermitcraft server is now the alternative, the go-to, if that's what you liked. Now you go there. You know what, I despair of finding any of these things, because normally by now I would have had half a dozen hamsters. Everywhere you turn there was a bloody hamster. Yeah, I think quite a few people do, and again, if you pull it off then that's fine, but realistically there's an awful lot. I'm just going to have a drink. And because I'm feeling so very let down by all of this, we need to have some fruit. I'm going to clear this fort out because I can. Does seem very one-sided though. Anybody? No, there's one there. Got him. I'm like a sniper. Oh, man. I see you. I just can't see any more of you. But I know you're in there. Let's try an alternative tack. Yeah, I think these, as I say, people... Hello, little fella. There we go. We got him. I'm just gonna pop him down there and tell him to sit. Don't stay there, you cute little bugger. Because he might get shot if I put him on my shoulder and go and do this. I see you. You're dead. Right, are you good there? There's another one there, look. Bloody typical that, innit? I'm not looking... I get fed up and decide to go looking for something else to keep me... to hold my attention just for a second longer. And what happens? A whole bunch of them turn up. Alright. Anybody? Is there anybody in there? One down. Two down. There is another one up there, I can hear him. Ah, bugger. It's like they knew I was coming. There's definitely another one up here, I think. twine. And that's it. It was very thoughtful. Of course, you know, given a plank of wood, I could have crafted my own, which would have worked just as well. Right, now I know these guys are unlikely to have much of any field value in here. They seldom do. I'm going to leave most of that behind just because I've got more of those than I know what to do with, but I will take those. I will have that, and we'll take the coal because it's moderately difficult to find. Lath 2, handy if I wanted to do any fishing. Redstone. I'll have the string, not bothered about the head. We'll have the coal. Right, perfect. Let's go and get my hamster and head back. Welcome back. Just in time to find me going to get my hamster, who I left up here. Sitting comfortably? Yes, he is. Right, which way's home? That way. You know, in hindsight, I wish I had put some kind of teleportation into this thing. But there you go. We didn't. No point crying over stuff you didn't put in. And it wouldn't have really fitted the TFC theme anyway, so, you know, there you go. Wait till we get him back, he's getting his own ball. He's going to get a little place to call home. I was hoping for a ferret, but we haven't spotted any yet. So, whoa, that could have been embarrassing. Right, can I get across? Hamster intact and safely there. I'm always paranoid that I'm going to lose him. They would. No hang gliders in this pack either, though, unfortunately. I got spoilt very much by hang gliders in the last Terra Firma craft. And of course I disabled slime slings, so even that was... I mean, I've only got myself to blame, you know. I built the pack and designed the criteria and the limitations into it, so I can only blame myself for the things I can't do now. But Netherlands, I've been to Amsterdam a couple of times, not in recent years, but last time I went, well, I'm trying to think now, it would have been what, 20 years, 18, 20 years ago, something like that, if I was having a guess. I went actually to in my role as a freelance reporter for a gaming magazine. No, I didn't go there for a stag do. I went there to work. I was a freelance journalist for a gaming arcane magazine, and I was reporting on the first Magic the Gathering Grand Prix tournament. It scared the crap out of me. I got off the train in Amsterdam, and off the plane, caught the train into the centre, and how do I put it? I got off the train in the city centre of Amsterdam, and wasn't sure exactly where the hotel was. So I thought, well, I'll ask a policeman. That's what we do back. That's what we do back in the UK. If when lost, ask a policeman. So I went and asked a policeman, and he gave me directions, and he said, you know, turn left here and turn right there, and then he said these words to me which seemed very odd, and I realised that almost everybody said them at the time, and it was just, don't get mugged. And it was like, pardon? Don't get mugged. And at the time, Amsterdam was apparently the mugging capital of Europe. It was it was definitely an eye opener. But yeah, I was there for work, so it's like many times. You know, you go anywhere for work, whether it's freelance work that you're doing on the side or the first things that I used to get to go a lot of places for work in my last job, and people will go, "Oh, it must be nice going all these places for work," and it's like, well, not really, because you never see them. You turn up, you see the bit of it on the way from where you are to the from the hotel for airport to wherever you're staying. A little bit of it, you know, of an evening, very little when you usually get taken out by the clients, and then you're back again. I went to a diamond merchant. I never got as far as the red light district. Although one of the Scottish players did. Is if the look of exhaustion on his face the second day was anything to go by, he was quite literally shagged. Scott's team. They were all three of them were in various states of decay, shall we say, because the one was absolutely hungover, the other one was post stoned, and the other one was post red light districted. But yeah, it's a beautiful city. I just didn't really get much chance to see around it a lot, as much as I would have liked anyway. Right, let's get down in here. We'll pop this lot away that we grabbed, and that for now. Well, it's a funny thing because people often say, "Oh yeah, Amsterdam, that's where you can smoke weed legally, isn't it?" And he's like, "No, it's not legal in Amsterdam. They just turn a blind eye to it, which is a very different thing entirely." Dairy, that's got dairy in it. We'll stock up on our dairy. Right, now we need to get the most important thing. Purple dye and glass panes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and some purple dye. Has to be purple. There is no other colour. It has to be purple. Before we do that, come here, you. There's I never actually realised there's only three countries in the world where cannabis is actually legal. Canada being now one of them. I think it was 3. It might be slightly more, but there wasn't many. Right, I'm going to call this little guy. I'm going to call him Hendrix after the legend. And we should. Yeah, if I put him down in here, he can get out. You know what? Doesn't matter. Come here, you. Your name is Hendrix. Hendrix the hamster. And you shall have a. There you go. Now he's got his own little ball. He can trundle around to his heart's content. Yeah, there's peculiarities with the. It's a case of a lot of places where it's not legal, but it's not illegal in the sense that they don't bother prosecuting. You better sit down. Actually, I don't want you moving. Am I going to build something? I already have. I built 2 things now. I built a cow thing and a thingy, but you know. But the only things left are these 2 hovels. But that hovel's done. We're going to be leaving it a little bit late to get I think. However, there is one thing I've been meaning to do for a while, so let me get some stuff doing. Yeah, because the states they've legalised medicinal marijuana, haven't they? Which is slightly different. I think if you have to have a medical, I don't know. It's complicated. Right, 3, 4. What I think what I want to do is, I've been grumbling and complaining that this tower is largely, now obviously this is all horrendously unlit, but it's not. The tower is not being used, it's just, you know, a big horrible lump in the ground. There to there. So I think what we're going to do is we are going to change that, and we're going to start off getting this floor here is going to be a barracks room. We'll get some bits and pieces. Yeah, it's, I don't know, I'm quite happy with beer. It does the job quite adequately, thanks. Because one of the things I've thought is we've got, see this, if I'm going to do that I need, yeah, alright. I'm going to need to do some major rejigging, I think. Let's go and grab some cobble. And some netherrack. I think that will work. So one of the problems we had with Ancient Warfare NPCs is if I were to come up here and make this a walkway for Ancient Warfare NPCs, the first time he needed to go down there, he'd just go straight over the edge, bang, straight down. And if he needed to get down there, he'd go straight off the edge of the wall here. So that clearly isn't going to work. But if we do something like this, maybe we can work. Maybe we can work this. Maybe we can fall off even, that would be good too. So that's going to work. Because what I would like to do is get a few guards in here. Make a guard room up here. On this floor maybe put like food preparation area, and yeah, I'm going to be only about another 5 minutes or so anyway. Let me go. I need to find an NPC to show you that. There is a skin feature in I want that out, and that out, and that out. That can all go. Bye bye. Bye bye. Because what I want to do is I want to come here. Keeping with the blue theme above. So you can't. Yeah, that's really not flying for me. That's blue shale, that's the wrong one. That one, thank you very much. Yeah, well, I normally stream and usually stream until not much later than this anyway, so we'll be wrapping up very shortly. I just want to try and get this bit done here. So if I bring you over this way like so, and then the same over here. It's made a bit harder by the fact that this is not obviously a nice square roof. I think we're going to have to do that. Oh, that's ugly. I don't like it. But we haven't really got much choice. I'll just extend it up like this. Up. And maybe like that. Might do the trick. Let's have a look. We can probably take that middle out then, can't we? I tend to do about 2 to 2.5 hours. I mean, on the surface of it, I could do slightly longer today because I'm not at work tomorrow because it's a bank holiday. The great British invention for extra holidays. Oh, that was not good. Neither is that one. Yeah, that just looks bizarre, doesn't it? What if I do this? Take you and you. Just seems very... I mean, what I'm aiming for here is this. Nobody can, even no matter how hard they try, oops, you cannot get out of this. Does not matter what you try, you know, you're stuck. You can jump about all you like, so it kind of forces them to pathfind through here or through here. That's the thought. Now obviously if they then go up here, we've got a similar issue on the roof, pardon me, that if I put someone up here and tell them to go and get food and they can't get to it, they're likely to throw themselves right off. Similarly up here, but yeah, that works as a cover there. What we do need to do, there is one job which needs to be done, which is not in that pack, so let me just go and in fact let me get you go in there and do that, and then get myself a little bit of that, and we can, what I'm going to do I think is we're going to borrow this bit of wall. Oh, that's no, hang on. Wrong tool. Well, hopefully they'll pathfind correctly. They certainly managed it when I did it in the last Ancient Warfare. Once I restricted their pathfinding capabilities, but that just hides a little bit of light. So it gives me the option, I think, to put some NPCs up there next thing. But I think on that note, we're going to be calling it... actually, what I should do is just, before we go, let's go and see what our success rate with the baby cows is. Or whether Bruce, not Bruce, Duke. Why did I think I called the bull Bruce? I don't know. Whether Bruce is definitely got issues. Cool. Right. Turn that off. There. Something there. Or is it underground? I think it's underground. Okay, that's fine. What's over there then? No, fine. Just when you can see the mobs on the radar and you can't things. Do I have a channel? They have baby cow. We have a Holstein calf. Oh my god, it's a leggy thing, isn't it? Do I have a channel? Is that channel? If that is do I have a channel, there we go. Holstein milk bucket. I do, and it's down in the banner at the bottom of the thing, Titanium Gaming Media. But yeah. On that note, anyway, we're going to call it an episode, an evening, a night, a thingy, and thanks for watching, everybody. Until next time, I will see you soon. And bye for now.